Oh boy, it's been a month. Sorry about that, y'all. I know that, we kind of got a small audience. However, it is still an audience, and I'm sorry that it's been a month. So, just trying to figure out life and, just trying to figure things out, and this kind of got pushed aside. But here I am, yeah, let's just jump right into it. So pretty much this is part two because this was like a day after part one. Pretty much same pattern and everything. The difference is me and my buddy Stu, that who's in the front deck with me. We wanted to take out our other buddy Colin, who's actually a firefighter now, but he was training to be a firefighter. So pretty much same pattern as before. The difference is the weather was kind of a big kind of difference in this one, mainly because we didn't really get a lot of, as you can see here, a lot of sun for a good portion of the day, just because the clouds just kept coming in and out, in and out, in and out. But the thing is, as soon as it was cloudy, the jerkbait was kind of the big fish magnet, pretty much. But from there, that's where it kind of got a little different when the sun came out. We could kind of go with drop shots, tubes, swim baits, just kind of, the spectrum kind of opened a lot more when that sun came out. Mainly, the main thing is just, we got numbers today. We didn't get any big ones. Like we did the other day. In part one, me and Stu each had at least 1, 2, and like 8-ounce, smallmouth, which isn't too big, for those northern guys and especially those southern guys too. Like if you're including largemouth, but since all these are smallmouth, at least for that lake, it's always fun to catch a 2-pounder when you're catching a ton of dinks for the majority of the day. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's just more of just finding where the bigger ones are. And the thing was, we found a school of small ones, and it was just a lot of fun just catching numbers. Like, honestly, like, I know I have a lot of fish catches in this video so far, and obviously not impressive fish, but this just kind of shows that we just had a numbers day. Like, honestly, I want to say we probably had about, between the three of us, we probably had about 40 fish. Colin, I couldn't find the clip, so I don't think I recorded it, but he was throwing a glide bait actually, and caught one on that. But he was sight fishing it, so he was able to kind of snag the little bastard, but then he lost it, so he kind of just switched to what we were doing pretty quick. But I mean, My point is, those fish were hungry, and if you can kind of see, a lot of the background looks the same, mainly because we kind of stayed around that area because there's just a ton of fish. The main goal was just to catch fish that day. We weren't too focused on catching size. We were hoping to catch some size. I think this one right here, Stu has a pretty good one, or one of the bigger ones of the day. Oh yeah. So yeah, I did kind of give you an idea. The main you should kind of set goals in the sense of when you go fishing, in the sense of like, because we were taking our buddy Colin out, we wanted to mainly focus on catching numbers and just kind of showing him a good time, because being a firefighter, and especially him not living in Fort Collins with us anymore, we just wanted to make sure that he had a great time and just catch a ton of numbers. So yeah, I mean, overall it was a good day. Didn't get size, but that's fishing. If we kind of decided to do size, we would have jumped around the lake more, but no, it was just typical horse tooth. Okay, so for this last part, I could go over the lures, retrieve, all that stuff. I did that in part one. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch part one to kind of look at the end. In this one, I was just kind of going to go over some equipment that I use and that I like to use. And for starters, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys. These are just my honest opinion. I'm not getting paid to say this. So yeah, just wanted a disclaimer. But anyways, so that rod, what I was using that day and what I use for jerkbaits in general, which you can even still see a jerkbait still tied on here. This is the Wright and McGill, the Skeet Reese rods. You know, the yellow, pretty much the yellow highlighter rods. This is their jerkbait topwater rod. I have a lot of, you'll kind of notice from just seeing videos, I have a good number of these Wright McGill rods, and they're not too bad. When I was fishing for the CSU bass fishing team, we were sponsored by these guys, and before they fired our good friend Marty, who was who's kind of in charge of all the sponsorship stuff and whatnot, we were able to have a deal where we get like pretty much one free rod a person. So I got a decent amount, and then on top of that, even after he left, and we dealt with this new guy, wasn't a big fan of him, but not going to get into that. But we were still able to get these 50% off. So like they're $90 rods, getting them for $45. I'm not complaining. But anyways, I like this jerkbait rod a lot actually, mainly because for those of you that don't fish jerkbaits a lot, I just like this kind of rod because it's very flimsy, and it just absorbs a lot. And I like that because if they destroy the jerkbait, which they do a lot up at Horsetooth, especially in the spring, they just truck them. Even the big one, like especially the big ones. The big ones, it feels like you get stuck. And I just like a rod like that because it absorbs it. Because they pretty much set the hook on themselves because of the rod. Everyone has their own opinion. I personally like that. Yeah, and since I kind of wanted to also talk about tackle, I kind of wanted to touch on just kind of some of my equipment and just kind of preference and whatnot, in case anyone's ever interested in like what kind of reels I use and whatnot. I could do a rod and arsenal video sometime, probably during the winter, kind of when either I catch up or I've gotten a lot of these videos done. But I just want to touch on something. Like you can see here, this is the Shimano Corrado, and for the record, this is the old one. This is the one that was actually good. The new ones after they made this one were just garbage. And I'm just gonna bring two other reels that I have up. This is an Abu Garcia Revo S, and this is a Shimano Chronarch. This Chronarch I got after they did their whole changes with the Corrados and whatnot. And this was probably my second baitcaster I ever got. Both of them are broken. I've had this one twice as long as I've had this one. Both broke about the same time. The reason I'm saying that is I don't like Shimano. I feel like they had a great reel in the old Corrado. I know everyone has their own opinion, but because everything was metal in here. Everything's metal in here. It does not feel cheap. It does not feel like plastic. It feels like a good reel. And Shimano probably was sitting there like, how could we improve our line of reels? Well, I don't know. Let's just make it cheaper for us to make, but keep the same prices. Oh, good. Let's do that. They did plastic, and that I was excited for this reel, to be honest. Even though it looked just like the Chronarchs, when I first got it, I'm like, this isn't too bad. I was actually very disappointed, and in all honesty, I should have returned it and was like, no, this is garbage. I was not a big Abu Garcia guy at first, mainly because I have two Corrados, two old school Corrados. I have this, I want to say it's the 51E, and then I have a 201, or it might be, no, it's a 201 also, and that's what I use for like my frog rod. Sorry. Those are awesome. If Shimano ever goes back to that, and I'll give their new Corrados a try, like at Bass Pro or something, and just kind of take a look at it and whatnot. But I just didn't understand how anyone could support it. I mean, obviously because they're sponsored by it. Yeah. And this, and I mean, this is one of the cheaper Abu Garcia reels too. And honestly, I liked this more than this guy, mainly because of the feel. I mean, my favorite reel I own right now is the Revo STX. This is my favorite reel, and the reason I say that, it feels like a $200 reel. This was a $200 reel, and it feels like cheap plastic. I mean, I'm being honest. It is cheap plastic, and I just don't know why Shimano fucked up with it. This is old. These are all older reels, so it's not like, oh, I'm talking trash about the newest Chronarch, or I'm talking trash about the newest Corrado. I stopped buying them because when they went that direction quite a few years ago, and people that have been bass fishing since, or at least been paying attention, know what I'm talking about. They made that huge that switch. The body looked the colors looked the same and everything, but it was plastic. And I think they made the Corrados a little cheaper. Instead of being $200, it was $180, and then they brought in the Chronarch, which was $200. But anyways, it was very disappointing. But yeah, like I said, since I talked about the tackle, jerk baits, and I even mentioned it in this, jerk baits, tubes, swim baits, drop shots, I didn't really see the point of talking about it again. So that's why I kind of went into a little rant and spiel of kind of my opinions, and just more so, if I ever get a comment about, oh, what reels and whatnot I use, I just kind of want to at least kind of show you guys a few of them that I use, and just kind of my opinion on them. But like I said, especially this Wright and McGill rod, the jerkbait topwater rod, I actually do really like it, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Wright and McGill anymore. It's still, especially for just jerkbait, throwing a jerkbait, I feel like that's a phenomenal rod. Thank you for watching. I hope you kind of enjoyed that little rant. If you guys did enjoy it, I can start kind of doing those. I can either kind of do them at the end of videos like I kind of did for this one, or I can just do a completely separate video of like an idea, of like a topic. If you guys have a suggestion, like my favorite rod or my favorite reels, or I mean, I kind of spoiled it. I like Abu Garcia. I haven't tried any Quantum ones. My buddy Stu loves the Tatula. No, that's Daiwa or Quantum. I'm getting them confused. Point is, I can at least give you my opinions on that kind of stuff if you're ever interested. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. All those, the big three for YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you next time, and I'll try not to wait a month to make a new video. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.